everything that we do, we'll run it through the filter of, does this allow me to chase God? About 2 years since the first moment when I kind of knew that the life change was about to happen. The moment was, I'm sitting in Durham with a friend I had just made who was involved in church planting, and he had found me through some mutual friends, and he said, you know, I've been learning about you, I've been asking about you, and I think that you should be involved in church planting.
2 years ago, I went to this conference. It's called CCYC, and Chris is the president of the whole conference. And in that moment, I felt like a clear just drawing to become some type of worship leader. I didn't know if it meant a campus ministry, in a youth group, at a church, at a camp. Like, I didn't know what it was, but I knew without a shadow of a doubt that I wanted to be a worship leader.
We had these closest friends, and we said, please pray for 7 solid days, and then let's get back and talk with each one of them. And so they did that. And without fail, every single one of them came back and just like, look, this looks really right. Wow, all this stuff had happened in my life. Like, my wife and I are planning on moving. We're like doing all this stuff, and so many of our friends didn't even know yet. And so Aaron, in the car with me, and the only thing on my mind is like, we're moving. This life is changing, and I got to tell him. And I could just see the spark in his eye immediately, and he's just like, man, I sure would love to help you with that. And in the back of my mind, I logged that thought, and I was like, you bet you, bro. Like, if there's any way we can get you involved, that's going to happen. The church that I was at needed someone to come in and be like a substitute worship leader on one weekend, and immediately the thought comes to my mind, let's call Aaron.
I get there like a couple days before for us to plan out the whole service, because both guys are going to be out of town, and we're like, okay, so since both of the people on staff are going to be out, we need to plan this and make sure it runs smoothly. And so we're working on it and everything, and we kind of get a glimpse of just working together really in a church. On our way, I remember it plain as day too, we were on our way to Firehouse Subs, and we get in my car, and I'm driving, and we're just talking about the service, and Chris is like, so you know, I'm going to plant a church in Wilmington. It's like, yeah, that's pretty cool. We started talking about that a little bit, maybe like 5 minutes, and right before we pulled up to Firehouse and pulled into the parking lot, and he was like, well, you also know that I need a worship pastor. And I was like, yeah, I think I know what you're saying, but I don't really know. And he was like, well, I think I want you to be my guy. He was like, I've been praying about it for a long time, for weeks at a time, and asking people to pray for me, and I really think I want you to be my guy. And I was just like, what? Like, you want me? Like, out of all people that he could have. I prayed about it for about a week, and just like, man, like, I really, really feel called.
We went out to lunch. I said, hey, so we're going to Wilmington. I was like, yeah. I'm like, you want to come? And he was like, what? I was like, I want you to be my guy. I want you to come. I want you to be on my team. I want you to be the first guy on the ground there with me. And his first answer was, I love this. He said, let me think about that. And that's one reason why I knew Aaron was right, because he didn't just go, yeah, let's pack up everything. He was like, no, I got to make sure this is right. You know? That was kind of the path leading us to Wilmington. The question that hits me in the face a lot is, you know, does Wilmington need another church? Really? I think there's a church on every corner. Do we really need another church? And are you going to be different enough or focused enough or have a different enough mission or mindset that it's going to matter?
I want to see people make radical decisions for Jesus. If our church falls flat on our face and I could say one person got saved, then it was worth every moment.
When I fast forward 2, 5, 10, 15 years, what will Venture be? We have a very simple thing that I hope we can instill in everybody, that every single person who comes through Venture is a God-chasing, grace-shaped love agent. Everything that we do, we'll run it through the filter of, does this allow me to chase God? I just want people to know that they're grace-shaped. If you're chasing God and you're recognizing the fact that you're shaped by His grace, you cannot help but overflow in love to the world. And the more and more I meet people and talk to people and just talk about the vision of this church, the thing that I hear back the most is, wow, that's something I want to be a part of. All the struggle and pain is worth it. If I had to pick one moment that has been the highlight of this journey for me, it would be impossible. It's not possible. It's not possible to pick the number one moment because every step of the way, like when I look through the Bible and I see the figures from the Bible and these individuals that overcome huge adversity, and then they just, something happens and God shows up and shows them who's boss. Every step along the way is a new celebration for them. We had an Easter Sunday preview service, and so for the first time we didn't meet in a house. We actually went and rented a public space at a middle school, and we set up the whole enchilada with children's classrooms and production and sound for a band. Walking away from that Sunday was just like, yeah, we did that.
Easter was so awesome. 56 people showed up. Second huge thing is my boy Justin getting baptized. That was amazing, and that's what we're here to do.
The biggest troopers in this whole journey have been my wife and my kids. When I first went into church work and working with teenagers, and she's a nurse, it just worked. You can be a nurse in any city pretty much, but she said, you know, I'll go wherever God leads us, and that's been a really cool, just her faith has been huge. And through that, our kids have grown up in that, and we've moved 7 times. I want my kids to know they're most important. They wake up on Sunday mornings like, hey, church day yet? You know, it's Saturday night, it's like, oh, we gotta go to bed early because we're going to church.
My family, my mom and my sister, I mean, it's definitely been a really cool journey just to have them by me at all times whenever I need them. But definitely my mom. She raised me through working 3 jobs by herself, dealing with me and Rachel's selfish stupidity for 7 years when my father was passed away, and she still to this day is just thriving.
Man, number one, hands down, my wife. I wouldn't be doing this if she wasn't my support team. So I'm so thankful to have her.
We want to share the love. We want to, from the heart, just say, look, we love you. We want to accept you for who you are. We don't want to be those people that are just like slapping you with a Bible and be like, you have to do this, this, and this, and this.
Join the venture. It's kind of got a double meaning to it. Maybe real shallow. It's like, hey, join our church. Come be a part of us. But it's bigger than that, because you know, life is hard, and no one should venture alone. But that's why God gives us each other and His love. And so, when I say join the venture, I mean like, just jump on board. It's a caravan of us. We're figuring it out together. Let's share the life-shaping love of Jesus, and let's make the city a better place. Yeah, which one? Is it on heat? It's on off. So it might just have to go through a cycle. Or
It's not like horrible.
oh,
Oh, there we
is
go.
it? Let's go. We gotta make movies.